O Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hands. United free for liberty together we'll always stand. One stanza is enough, and I'm a proud Ugandan. My name is Robert Mugisa. Where I come from, we add Abwooli. I am a human rights defender who is really passionate about promoting and striving for the protection and realization of human rights and fundamental freedoms in Uganda, but also wherever duty calls all over the globe. I am able to do what I do best, advocating for promotion and protection of human rights. I have been part of the Lake group that has participated in sessions and trainings about narratives, governance narratives, and discussions around changing what we see for the better. I am also glad that over time I've been observing and noting many issues and concerns within our working environment as human rights defenders. But one thing resounds that people are hesitant to accept change. People are not able to embrace change quickly because they tend to be locked up and in what they believe. They don't want to change to something that they do not know. Uganda has been governed over the years, as you might know, by a number of presidents, but the current one has been in power for close to over 34 years. And what we are seeing right now happening in the political environment is a section of people who say it's time to change, it's time to get a new leader. And yet there is another section of citizens who say, no, 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 no. It's not yet time for us to change leadership. This president is still good, and we do not wish to see any trouble happening around us because we want change. It can wait. But as an individual, as Robert, I really say that no matter what it is, we have to stay objective, we have to stay positive minded, and we have to continue speaking for the better for everyone, you know. My advocacy work is about ensuring that everyone, everywhere, every citizen enjoys their naturally given human rights and fundamental freedoms. Nothing less, nothing more. When we talk about human rights being natural entitlements that accrue or belong to everyone by virtue of being human. For me, that is the basic principle. We begin from the point of, are they human beings? Yes, then let's give them, or let's advocate more for them to enjoy what naturally belongs to them. And so civil, political, economic, social, cultural rights, rights of the individuals, rights of groups, all count for me. And therefore, I really appreciate the discussion around changing the narrative. The question I have is, what is the current narrative? What is the narrative that I want to bring on table? And the answer lies in the fact that governance is quite broad, and the principles or tenets of good governance include rule of law. And therefore, if we have laws in place, the narrative that I want to emphasize is rule of law. Let people adhere to the law. Let the organs of government, that is executive, judicial, and legislature, be able to adhere to the rule of law and the principle of separation of powers. Let the judiciary play its role Let the legislature play its role. Let the executive play its role, all bearing in mind that they are working not for themselves, but for the citizenry. And for me, really, I believe that if everyone is treated as equal, then we shall have less trouble seeking the enforcement of rights. Uganda has recently enacted the Human Rights Enforcement Act in 2019, and the regulations that speak to that act. But the question is, who is willing to see that this act is well implemented? And for me, really, if we can speak to what everyone else desires and have it come to life, then I believe our narrative is clear. Our message is clear. We want rights observed, respected, upheld for everyone, everywhere in Uganda and beyond. And so seeing people die, seeing people suffer, seeing people cry, seeking and begging for what belongs to them is not something that we want to live with. We want to see a change where everyone, everywhere enjoys their rights. Everyone, everywhere is governed well in accordance with the available laws and principles, treated equally without any selective application of the law. Given a platform to try out their luck and their opportunities equally without any form of discrimination or limiting them, because even under the Constitution, Article 43 mentions that any limitation of rights must be within what is acceptable, justifiable in a free and democratic society. The narrative should focus more, and that is the narrative I'm talking about, which must be able to focus more on the issue of human rights, fundamental freedoms, equality, justice, respect for the laws that are in place. So that even if we campaign, even if we speak, there is going to be a voice of reason, and there is going to be an ear that listens to what we are saying and be able to give some of the things that we are asking for, or give everything that we are asking for. If we are to jump into a taxi, the driver is the narrative vision bearer. The passengers are the people for whom this journey is being undertaken, and the van is the country that we are into, that is shielding us from all kinds of attacks and damage and hindrance. Because once we are in that van, which is Uganda, then the body of the van and the chairs that we sit on are what are helping us to find the comfort that we need along the journey till we get to our final destination. And so for me, it's all about appreciating the whole discussion around narratives. The deeper messages are within what I have said. The development of particular messages for particular groups is embedded in what I have just said. So whether it's the youth, whether it's women with disabilities, whether it's with the duty bearers, police, army, prisons, Uganda Human Rights Commission, it's about me really critically analyzing the kind of message that I will throw out for each of these people, so that they can listen to my concerns, so that they can listen to my group's concern, so that they can listen to human rights defenders' concerns and be able to act accordingly to see that something changes, all in the name of betterment of the environment in which we work, betterment of the society and environment for promotion and protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms for all, everywhere in Uganda. And even when we step out, we should be able to continue being proud as citizens